Okay, let's start off our PLC meeting with a review of our team norms.
Okay, we have active listening, maintain integrity, respect one another and our work together, and be committed.
Well, it's been about 6 or 7 weeks since we've come back to our PDSA, and we wanted enough time for us in our classrooms to be implementing our improvement theory. So let's go back to our improvement theory, and what did we say we would do differently?
We said that we would go from 30 minutes kind of sporadically throughout the week of writing instruction to 50 minutes based on Regie Routman's writing research that we looked at.
Okay, and we took that 20 minutes from somewhere, and that was from that 20-minute study hall at the end of the day. We informed parents that we were making an adjustment so they would be aware students may have an extra 15 minutes of homework that typically they had school time for. Now they might be bringing that home. So we're at the point now, the next step of PDSA is study the results. Basically, we want to ask the question, did our improvement theory have a positive impact? So let's talk about, first of all, in our classrooms, we had the opportunity to add that additional 20 minutes. We waited a couple weeks and then we started tracking. We have 4 more data points. So what we're going to do is look at the baseline data, the first 4 weeks of data, before we identified a root cause, tried out an improvement theory, and now we're going to go 4 weeks more worth of data and see what do we see in the results. So let's talk about what we see in the results.
Well, while we were in between our 2 sets of data, we looked at some other components like our Rigby theme test, where we've seen a lot of improvements in the writing area on those Rigby theme tests. And then as a result, our scores have, improved, but that's one other component that helped us out.
And also during our PLC time, when we had been working on developing our action plan and implementing it, during that time where we were collecting data, we made sure we were having conversations about the routine and the skills that we had been working on, so we made sure we'd remain somewhat consistent across the grade level.
Mm-hmm. Right. So now we've got 4 more data points and we're ready to answer the question, did it work? When you look at the results, what was the average in the first 4 weeks when we took a baseline sample?
I think it was about between 1.5 or 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so the average score on the 4-point rubric was between 1.5 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then 6 weeks later, 7 weeks later, and into week 11, weeks 8, 9, 10, and 11, we've got 4 more data points. What do we see as the average there?
3.5.
Okay, so answering the question, when we study the results, we ask the question, did it work? What would you say the answer to the question is based on the new set of data we have?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
absolutely.
Okay, so the 20 minutes had a positive impact to the tune of going from on average about 2 into the 3 and 3.5 range. So we're definitely moving in the right direction, and I think we had a good root cause and a good improvement theory. Something interesting in the data, Deanna, your results were even a little bit higher than your 2. So let's talk about practically as practitioners, what were you doing that may have been a little different that may have caused even better results on what we see in the run chart?
Well, we really focused on doing a lot of peer editing, and we took into account Regie Routman, the I do, we do, you do, and we made some lists of what they should be expected to do, what I should be expected to do, so on and so forth. And so I really kind of stuck to that, and I think the kids took more responsibility and really made them go back and look at their work and focus on their writing in general.
Yeah, and I noticed especially the last 3 data points were on a steady increase upward. So maybe there's something there that we could learn from that may impact our own practice to get even better results. Let's bring some closure to our PLC meeting today. Our focus was studying the results, asking the question, did our improvement theory make a positive difference? And we found when we compared the first 4 weeks of data to the second 4 weeks of data points that we went from an average of about 2 on the rubric to an average of about 3 to 3.5. So The purpose of studying the results is to ask the question, did it work? And I think we found that it did work. Our improvement theory of adding 20 minutes, and not just any 20 minutes to do more of the same, but 20 minutes of small group instruction had a positive impact. So our next step of PDSA is called standardize. And basically what we're going to do is take that flow chart that we created when we defined the system, and we're going to redo the flow chart to represent our new way in which we teach language. And so we will represent on the flow chart this change that we've made. So we've documented the process that we're using in order to get even better results. So let's go ahead and submit our weekly log, capture the key learning from today, and when we come back next, we'll move into the next step of PDSA, standardize.